Hello, guys, and welcome back to Darts Now. And we have some breaking news. The Premier League lineup has been announced for 2024. There was a lot of debate about who would make the cut. And Luke Littler, the 16-year-old sensation who made the World Championship final on debut, is in the Premier League. There was a lot of debate about whether the PDC would put him in. He does have a tour card. He had a tour card before the tournament, courtesy of the development tour, but he's into the top 64, he's actually into the top 32, courtesy of his World Championship final run. But Luke Littler, 16-year-old sensation who's captivated a global audience, is in the Premier League. You can see the full lineup just there. He's joined by, of course, the world champion Luke Humphries and the defending Premier League champion Michael van Gerwen. The former world champion who lost his crown in this tournament, Michael Smith, is also in there, and the world match play champion Nathan Aspinall. Geraint Price, the Iceman World Cup champion, is in there as well, and Rob Cross, who has had a tremendous year, made the semi-final of the World Championship, losing out to Luke Littler, also made the Grand Slam final. And Peter Wright, who has not had the best of years. It has been quite difficult for him, but he is still a major winner. He won the European Championship. So those are the 8 that make up the Premier League. 1st of February is when it kicks off in Cardiff. 17 weeks it will take over. And it's going to be interesting to see how it works. There was a lot of debate about whether Luke Littler should be included. I'm sure it's a decision that's been discussed heavily by Luke Littler, the PDC, and his management, and his parents, of course, to not only look after Luke Littler, the dart player, but also the safeguarding of a 16-year-old kid. It's going to be an interesting one to see how this works, because the Premier League obviously takes place on a Thursday. You have the media days on the Wednesday. Now, Luke Littler is in a very healthy place in the rankings in terms of his world ranking. He's in the top 32 now, but he doesn't have any money on the Pro Tour Order of Merit. He doesn't have any money towards the European Championship either. So it is going to be interesting to see how that works, because he could end up feasible having Pro Tours Monday, Tuesday, Premier League Media Day on the Wednesday, but also the Euro Tour qualifiers, Premier League, of course, on the Thursday, and Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you do have the European Tour events. So you can't really pull out too many Pro Tour events unless he gets a couple under his belt very, very early on, which he very well could, because he wants to get to Minehead and he wants to be a good seed for Minehead. He wants that ranking money. He wants to accumulate that, because he's only got a 1-year tour card now. Not that it's going to matter, because he's not going to fall out the top 64. That's impossible. But what he doesn't want to do is in a situation in 2 years' time where he's defending the vast majority of his prize money in that one tournament. So he doesn't want to accumulate prize money. So he doesn't want to pull out too many Pro Tour events if he can help it. And of course, the European the European Tour events, he's going to have to go to the qualifiers, which do take place on a Wednesday, same day as the media days of the Premier League. So I assume some sort of arrangement has been made between Littler, his parents, the PDC, and his management, just to make sure that he can manage this schedule. It's a schedule that he actually called grueling. You can check the video on our TikTok or our YouTube channel on Twitter as well. I asked Luke Littler about a week ago the prospect of being included in the Premier League, and he said that he thought the PDC would keep him out of the Premier League because he was concerned about the grueling schedule, which is what I've just talked about. But I'm sure something will be in place to manage 16-year-old, or will be 17 when the Premier League starts, Luke Littler. Not just the person, but also the player as well, just to make sure he doesn't suffer from burnout. And yeah, just talking about the others briefly. It'll be interesting to see what happens in this Premier League with Peter Wright, fantastic player. We know what he's done, 2-time world champion, match play champion as well. But he has had a difficult 2023. Doesn't normally perform the best anyway in the Premier League. And he went out to Jim Williams in his first match of the World Championship, 83 average. Did win the European Championship, which sort of saved him in the rankings a little bit, to be honest, because he missed out on Minehead. But yeah, I mean, this could do a lot of damage. If he can't find his form back, this could be a very long 17 weeks. The same with Nathan Aspinall, World Match Players Champion, top 4 as well. No doubt he deserves to be in the Premier League. And to be fair, normally does quite well when he's in the Premier League. But again, someone who has not been in the best of form. It was a difficult world championship for him as well. Um, so it'll be interesting to see how he does. And Michael Smith, of course, won the world championship by his very high standards, not had the best of 2023s again, like a few others that we've mentioned. But I expect him to bounce back. He's got so much natural ability. He's a hard worker. He's got so much talent. He's not going to fall away. He will be back, and he will probably win more world championships. And I expect him at some point to win a Premier League title. He's been to a final before, and this could be the tournament that he gets over the line. You never know. Rob Cross, I mentioned at the start of the video, he deserves to be there. He's been playing fantastic darts. And that's a mindset change. You know, he's been saying that he loves darts. He wants to play darts. He actually said to me that he goes to bed dreaming about darts, which is just such an own Rob Cross thing to say. But he genuinely loves the game now, and you can tell when he's on the hockey, when he's throwing his darts, there's so much enjoyment he's getting out of the sport. He's even admitted to watching darts, which is just, you know, if you told Rob Cross 12 months ago to be watching darts, let alone just playing it, he'd have called you crazy. But that's what he's doing. And then you've got Gerwin Price, who he's been playing some decent stuff, but it's been over 2 years now since his last ranking major, which would eat away at him because he's a much better player than that. But he has won the World Cup. He's a huge draw. He's a real quality player still. We've seen that. He proves that multiple times. So there's absolutely no doubt that he was going to be in the Premier League. Luke Humphries missed out last year. I think he won number 5, won what, 4 Euro Tour events? I think it was unfortunate to miss out last year, and it did hurt him, but he's come back stronger. I mean, you can't really come back much stronger, can you? You know, he's won the World Grand Prix and the Grand Slam, then the Players' Championship finals, then he won the World Championship, and he became world number 1 as well. I mean, it's just sort of a little bit overshadowed by Luke Littler's incredible run to the World Championship final, but he's done something that we've just never ever seen. To pick up your first ranking major in October and then start of January, world number 1, and you've won 4 of them, including the World Championship. It's just unbelievable. I'm not taking credit, but he did say that I've never seen him lose when I've been going. So, you know, I will be at the Premier League. I'll be at every night at the Premier League. So maybe sticking money on Luke Humphries. And then, of course, we haven't spoken about him yet, but Michael Van Gerwen, the defending champion, would have been mightily disappointed at the World Championship, losing in the quarterfinals to the unseeded Scott Williams. He didn't play well. 93 average. He started off okay, and he just got worse and worse. And Scott Williams, to his credit, I think it was about 96, 97 average. He played well. He took his chances, and he punished Michael Van Gerwen. I expect him to play well in the Premier League. He always plays well in the Premier League. But what's actually interesting is I was looking briefly at the odds before I did this video. Luke Humphries kicks off favourite. You expect him to kick off favourite. He kicks off favourite for the World Championship, justified that favourite tag, and then he went on to win it, and he kicks off the Premier League as the pre-tournament favourite. But Michael Van Gerwen is actually third favourite because soon-to-be 17-year-old Luke Littler kicks off second favourite. And you know what? To be honest, it's hard to argue. You know, he produced ton average after ton average after ton average in the World Championship. This is over long formats on the biggest stage against huge opponents. Raymond van Barneveld, you know, Luke Humphries, Rob Cross, your former world champions. 3 averages over 105. And just to put it into perspective, I think it was 4 average. It might have ended up 5 averages actually over the ton plus mark in the World Championship. Now, James Wade has never averaged over a ton in the World Championship. Gerwin Price has done it 5 times in 10 years. I mean, we are talking about a generational talent here who, in my opinion, at the moment can only be compared to Phil Taylor and Michael Van Gerwen. And to be fair, Luke Humphries is doing a very, very good job at putting himself into that conversation. He's only 28 years old himself. I mean, he seems like an old age pensioner compared to Luke Humphries, but he's only 28 himself. So the things that he could go on to do is very, very scary. But it really, really bodes well. Darts is in a fantastic place, and Luke Littler, the most talked about dart player on the planet by an absolute country mile. He's got people watching darts who have never seen a dart throw in their lives, and what he's done for our fantastic, great sport is incredible. It's astonishing, and I wish the best of luck for Luke Littler. Not that he needs it, because he will dominate darts because he is that good. He's been throwing since he was 18 months old. That throw has not changed. It's been silky smooth. It's not changed ever since he picked up a dart. He's absolutely fantastic. But there we have it. There is the Premier League lineup. There are a few people who may be disappointed to miss out. Chris Dolby was phenomenal at the World Championship, and then blew that 4-0 lead in a race to 5 against Rob Cross, which would have hurt him. But he was been fantastic all year. He won the Masters last January, which got him into the Premier League. Didn't quite work out in terms of the table rankings, but he put in exceptional performances. And of course, he made the semi-finals of the World Grand Prix as well. But let us know what you think of the Premier League. Should Luke Littler have been included? Is it a few years too early? Do let us know in the comments. Thank you all for watching and stay tuned for more darting news.